Hello, yogis, and welcome back to our next sequence in Okaiyoga. Glad you could join me today. Today's hatha practice will be focused on hip opening, working to get our femurs a little more mobile, open in our hip joints. We spend so much time driving, sitting at desks, sitting on the couch with so much weight pushing down onto the top of our femurs. Today we're going to work on opening that up a little bit. So let's find a comfortable seat. Legs crossed. I like to sit up on a block or a blanket or a towel. Today we will be using some props in this class. I definitely recommend, if you have access to 2 blocks, that would be great. A blanket or a beach towel if you would like to put a little extra comfort underneath your knees for the kneeling postures. And a strap if you have it. If you don't have a strap, yoga strap, then another option is to use a towel or a piece of thin fabric that's a little bit wider than your shoulders. We can use this in 3 or 4 places in the class. In one of the sequences or segments of the sequence, it really does require more of a traditional strap, but there's options that I'll suggest when we get to that part of the practice. Welcome yourself to your practice. Place the heel of our palm, so where our wrist meets the palm, into the hip creases and push down a little bit, roll our shoulders up and back, and gently make circles with our shoulders one direction around our hip joints. You'll feel the psoas push up into the palm of the hands a little bit. So push back a little bit, not so it's discomforting, but just so you feel the pressure. We're starting to encourage the femurs, the head of the femur, to descend a little bit in the hips, creating space in the hip joints for mobility, fluidity. Let's go the other direction. Pause and find stillness. Let our hands find a comfortable spot on our thighs. Maybe we softly close our eyes. Think of another intention in this practice. It's personal to you. So I'll take a deep inhale in through the nose, filling our lungs completely. Open our mouth and exhale it out. Another deep, deep inhale in through the nose. Open our mouth and sigh it out. Once again, deep inhale in through the nose. This time, keep our lips softly closed and exhale our lungs completely out our nose. A couple more breaths like that. Inhaling deeply in through the nose. Exhaling out the nose completely. On every exhale, draw the navel towards the spine. Deep inhale, and on the exhale, let our chin fall forward towards or to our chest. Half circles, roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. Exhale, chin back down towards our chest. Inhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Exhale, chin back down towards our chest. 2 more times each side. Connecting simple breath to movement. Next time we come to center, float our chin parallel to the ground, to the mat below us. Take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll twist, taking the right hand on the outside of the left thigh. Draw the right sits bones deeper into the block or the blanket. Gives us leverage to lift the crown of the head up, creating space between each vertebrae. And on the exhale, open that back shoulder behind us. 2 more deep breaths here. Every inhale, imagine crown of your head floats up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, your shoulder opens. Deep inhale, unwind all the way through center. This time the left hand outside of the right thigh. The right hand's up on fingertips behind us, almost like a kickstand. If we're up on fingertips, that also helps on the inhale. maximizing space that we can between our vertebrae right now. On the exhale, the right shoulder opens up ever so slightly. Another deep inhale here, and on the exhale, we'll unwind through center, crawling forward. This is where I like to suggest a blanket or a beach towel, if you have it, to put under your knees if you'd like a little bit of extra padding. We'll meet up in tabletop. In tabletop position, knees are hip distance apart. Wrist crease of our hands directly below our shoulders. I like to tuck my toes. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. On cow, then we're going to draw the tailbone up as the belly starts to lower, the chest rises on our inhale. And on the exhale, initiate the movement from our hips, so we roll from the hip bones down, the tailbone points down, our gaze starts to look back at our knees, up towards our waist. A couple more times. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. 2 more times here. Turn sideways. And we initiate from our hips. We raise the sits bones up. The belly starts to drop. The chest lowers. The gaze moves forward. Then on the exhale, we initiate from our sits bones, our hips. Our gaze starts to come down. We're at our thumbs. We're below our belly button. We're looking back at our knees and up towards our waist. Maybe one more time here. Really super slow. Starting to articulate our spine. Finding stillness in tabletop. Again, using the blanket if we'd like that for our knees. We'll add a little bit of movement here to warm up just a little bit. So find that cow position. The tailbone rises up, belly drop, chest starts to lift up. On the exhale, we're going to sink back into child's pose, Balasana. The knees separate, big toes touch, heart melts down towards the mat. Maybe our hips come to our heels, maybe they're up here. Wherever you are today is perfect. You're on your mat, you're practicing, it's your practice. Do what feels good for you. We're going to come out of child's pose, pushing up and back, downward facing dog. Lowering right back down to our knees, finding our expression of cow pose. The tailbone initiates, belly drops, chest lifts up. Sinking back into child's pose. Coming up, cow pose, tailbone rises, belly drop, heart lifts, up and back, downward facing dog. One more time, lowering our knees, finding that cow. Sinking back, child's pose. Cow. Downward facing dog. Pausing a downward facing dog. Taking a couple deep inhales here. Inhale through the nose, open the mouth and sigh it out. I'm going to turn to face you here. Might be easier to watch this next warm-up mini sequence. From our downward facing dog, let's all float our right heel up in space. Bring the right foot forward, lower the left knee down. Slowly walk our hands to our front thigh. Anjayanasana, low runner's lunge. Make sure the ankle is directly below the knee. Then we don't want the knee coming forward to the ankle. The ankle can actually be forward a little bit. We'll start to bend and straighten the front leg. The hands can be on the hips. Bringing some movement to our ankle, to our knee, to our hips. The next time we come forward, let's pause. Cactus the arms, draw the sternum up towards the sky. On the exhale, we'll cross our arms across that front thigh. Now to truly activate this pose, push gently into each forearm, activate all 10 fingers. Our belly's still touching that thigh, but you just feel the lift by activation of our arms, our triceps, our hands. Tuck the back toes, start to float the back hamstring up. Lower and raise the knee. If this is too much, you're welcome to just keep the knee down. If we're feeling wobbly here, if we separate the feet, a little bit wider foundation may provide the stability that we need. Draw the right hip back in space ever so slightly. Let's all lower that back knee. Take our left fingertips, draw a line straight up towards the sky. Take our right hand, imagine we're placing it into our pocket. Draw the right elbow back towards the wall behind us. Might give us a little bit of space to reach even higher. Take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll start to twist. Twisting towards our right, left elbow on the right thigh, palms come to prayer. Draw the right elbow up above the left elbow. Activate the bottom tricep, just like we did before. Press into the hands equally. Activate that tricep. Maybe there's more space for the top elbow to come forward just a little bit more. If you're feeling playful and would like a little bit more here, tuck the back toes, float that back hamstring up, back heel towards the wall behind us. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, maybe we open up the hands, maybe we don't. Bring the palms back to touch. Frame the front foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Come down to our knees, finding child's pose balasana. Knees are separated, heart melts down. Take 2 deep breaths here. Starting to feel the warmth that you're creating in your practice. Come up through tabletop, downward facing dog. Float the left heel up in space. The left knee comes forward, left foot comes forward, right knee comes down onto the blanket or your mat. Walking our hands up. Hands can be on our hips. Start to straighten and bend that left leg. Opening up the ankle, the knee, the hips on the opposite side. Breathing in through the nose, out of the nose. The next time we come forward, let's pause here. Cactus the arms. Lift that sternum up, a subtle back bend. Cross our arms across the front thigh. Activate both forearms. Gently push into that front thigh. Activate all 10 fingers. The fingers are separated. Draw the back heel up, back hamstring up towards the ceiling, the back heel towards the wall behind us. Square the hips by drawing the left hip back slightly. If this is too much, you're welcome to come down into your version of the low runner's lunge. Or if you'd like a little bit more, maybe we lower and raise that back knee. Lowering that back knee now down. Now let's take our right hands, draw those right fingertips on the mat to the ceiling. Left hand in that imaginary pocket behind us. Give space to lift the right hand up more. Draw the left elbow towards the wall behind us. Another deep inhale here. And on the exhale, let's twist. Right arm over the left thigh. Palms come to touch into prayer, twisted prayer. Start to draw the left elbow up towards the ceiling. Activate the bottom tricep. Feel that lift. Push into each palm equally. Maybe there's space to draw that top elbow directly above the bottom elbow. If we activate that front tricep, put some weight into that front foot. Maybe the back hamstring floats up towards the ceiling, the back heel towards the wall behind us. If you're feeling wobbly again, widen our stance. Let's all lower that back knee. If you'd like to take a nice heart opener, shoulder opener here, you're welcome to bring the palms to touch. Unwind, place the hands down, step back into plank, top of the push-up. Up and back, downward facing dog, lower down to our knees, finding child's pose balasana again. Breathing in through the nose, out of the nose. You feel your heart rate maybe just a little bit faster than when we started the class today. Another deep breath here. Inhale up and through, downward facing dog. I'm going to turn sideways here. Take my blanket out of the way. We'll do a little reverse vinyasa here. From downward facing dog, inhale forward to up dog. Exhale, start to come down to the bottom of a push-up, chaturanga. Push the ground away to plank. Exhale, down and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward, up dog. Exhale, bottom of the push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, push the ground away, plank. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. 2 more times, or skip it, yogis twice. Through with me, inhale, up dog. Exhale, bottom of the push-up. Inhale, push the ground away. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 more time. Up dog. Chaturanga. Plank. Downward facing dog. Let's all come down to our knees, sinking back into child's pose. Feel those just a couple of those reverse vinyasas start to create even more heat in your practice. Tuck our toes, coming up and back through downward facing dog. Let's all walk our feet to our hands. Before we rise, look for your strap, look for your towel. If you have a strap, we're going to grab our towel. We can grab it a little bit wider than shoulders. We're going to floss our shoulders. We floss our teeth a couple of times every day, right? So now let's get some movement into our shoulders by reaching the towel or the strap up and back. The wider the grip, the easier the rotation. If you want to test that, just shorten your grip a little bit. You'll find out you need to bend your elbows a lot more to wiggle that strap up and behind. So wider grip here is easier. It's still early in our practice on our shoulders, but we're bringing some attention to them, giving our hips a little bit of a break. To continue to provide some heat in our practice, we'll take 3 Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskar A, and Surya Namaskar A. The first one, we'll break it down, do it just a little bit slower. I like to use the blocks. If you don't have the blocks, you're welcome to do it on the floor. Inhale, circle the hands up towards the sky. On the exhale, I like to keep my thumbs touching, open the palms towards the front, because I'm going to inhale one more time to get even higher. And then on the exhale, bend at the knees, pivot at the hips, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Draw my shoulders away from my hips, draw my head away from my hips. Separate my shoulders, creating space between my shoulder blades. Draw my shoulders away from my ears. Take another inhale. Exhale, reach down for the blocks or your mat. Push the ground away. Exhale, lower down slow, bottom of the push-up. The first time here, especially because we're working on creating space in our hip joints, lift the right foot up. Draw the right toe as far away from you as you can, then place the foot down. Let's lift the left foot up, draw that left foot away from us, then place the foot down. Draw the elbows towards our spine. Push so firmly on the top of our feet that the knees float up. Draw our pubic bone into the mat. And on the inhale, look up, just the back of our head floats up 4 or 5 inches, baby cobra. Exhale, lower the chin, the nose down towards the mat. Tuck the toes, push up and back, downward facing dog. I like to take a half step in. Heels are moving towards the mat, but not flat. If they're flat, just extend your step. Hips, sits bones are pointing up. To come up, I like to put a bend in the knees, draw the shoulders above the wrist crease, bend the knees even further, push into the ball of each foot, the palm of each hand with the same amount of pressure, so the feet start to float forward. We can also walk or hop forward. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, lower down slow, and inhale, circling the hands up towards the sky. Bringing the hands to our heart center and release. 2 more times. Surya Namaskar A, circle the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, open the palms. Inhale, reach, standing forward fold. Halfway rise, reach down, plank, top of a push-up. Lower down, scrape your ribcage with your elbows. Baby cobra, elbows move towards our spine. Tuck our toes, downward facing dog. Half step forward, draw the shoulders forward. Bend the knees, walk, hop, or float our feet forward, landing lightly. Halfway rise, lower down slow, reaching high, and relax. One more time, circling the hands up. Standing forward fold, Uttanasana, halfway rise. Reaching down to plank, lower down. Maybe a medium cobra. Find your downward facing dog. Draw your shoulders above the wrists. Bend the knees a lot. Float our feet forward softly, halfway rise. Standing forward fold, circle the hands up towards the sky, and exhale our hands to heart center. Relax, great job, yogis. Circling the hands up towards the sky. Open the palms, inhale, get taller, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, let's reach down for those blocks, stepping back, lowering down. Up dog or cobra, yogi's choice. Find your downward facing dog. Float the right heel up, the right foot comes forward. Nice wide stance. We're going to shift our weight into the right hand. The left fingertips reach up, the hand is active. Draw the right hip back in space. Left hand comes down, right hand floats up, reaching up, opening the shoulders, drawing the right hip back, floating the left hand down, walking our hands to that front thigh. So I'll bring that back foot in a little bit, bend the back knee a lot. Imagine you're wearing a big belt buckle. We want the top of the belt buckle closer to our chin, so we draw our hips forward or the sits bone down. Re-straighten that back leg, start to bend and straighten the front leg. Again, this can be wobbly for some, so adjust your stance. Wider, longer, what works for you. Play with your balance. You're welcome to stop here and pause. If you'd like a little bit more, you can lower and raise that back leg. Pausing here, cactus the arms. Slowly find the blocks, stepping back to downward facing dog. Either taking a child's pose here, taking an extra breath. And when you're ready, moving on to the left side. The left heel floats up, left foot forward. Shifting our weight into the left hand, the right fingertips float up. Maybe we turn our gaze towards that hand, draw the left hip back in space. Lowering the right hand down, shifting to the weight into the right hand, the left fingertips draw up, reach high, turn our gaze. Lowering down, walking our hands to that front thigh. Step the back foot in, bend the back knee a lot, draw that belt buckle towards the sky, then re-straighten that back leg. The energy goes out the heel and the hamstrings moving away from the front of your mat. Hands can be on your thigh or your waist for extra balance. Bend and straighten that front leg. Don't go too far forward. Again, we're protecting our joints. We don't want the knee moving forward of the ankle. Pausing forward, taking a break here or adding a little bit more. Lowering and raising that back knee is always an option. Pausing, cactus the arms, reaching the hands down to the floor, stepping back to downward facing dog. Let's walk our hands back to our feet, standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Gently grasp opposite elbows. Let our head hang heavy. Let our shoulders, our arms sway side to side. Pausing to collect our breath. Pausing, maybe we revisit our intention. Did we forget all about it? Is our mind, our body's been busy connecting breath to simple movements? Release the hands. If you have a strap, now's the time to grab the strap and we'll slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Our hips are pretty well warmed up. We're going to work on creating that energy around the head of the femur and the hip joint. So for that, my strap, we're going to make a portal, a circle. Always know where the buckle is. I love these Manduka straps because they're easy to adjust while you're in a pose. You want to have the buckle off to your side. You want to have the controlling part of the strap hanging down so it's easier to make an adjustment. Adjust that a little bit. We're going to take the porthole out in front of us, take the right foot through the circle. We're going to hike up the strap with the buckle hanging on the outside to our hip. We're going to step forward as if we're starting to come into a lunge. Then we're going to reach our left foot, catch the strap in the arch of the foot, and step back. So we're in a modification of a lunge. The strap's over the right thigh towards the head of the femur. The back foot, the arch, is in the strap. This is a little too tight for me. So I'm going to adjust the strap. Place the strap where I need it to be on the hip. And if you don't have the strap, you can be in Warrior One with your hands up and just extend and bend the front leg. If you do have the strap, this is really quite magical, feels great. We're just going to raise and lower in crescent, raise and lower the left heel. You'll start to feel a little bit of pressure on the femur towards the hip joints. We're going to pause, place our hands on our hips with our hips square towards your front, whichever direction you're pointed. We're going to slowly bring our shoulders forward. As our shoulders come forward, you'll feel as if someone was spotting you or someone was placing their hands on your front thigh or the top of the thigh and pushing down. So it's a great way you're spotting yourself. You find a little bit of stability when the strap is taut. You control how much pressure is on that joint. So if you go forward a lot, it intensifies the pressure. If that doesn't feel good, we back off. Just pausing here. Again, it's like that spot, that extra hands-on adjustment, but you're providing it to yourself in your own home practice. I should have suggested, if you're pointing towards the top of your mat, you have your blocks on their highest setting. It's easier to come from this position. We bring our hands down to the blocks, reaching the back foot up and finding Warrior Three. If you are in Warrior One without the strap, just find Warrior Three. The modification with the blocks makes it more accessible for many of us. If your balance is still developing, maybe you have one hand on the block, your thumb comes into your sternum, maybe you switch hands to start get the muscle memory, the sensation. If you have the block, the beautiful part, or if you have the strap, that extra tension in the strap, pulling the femur back in space, it actually gives you something to balance on. It's as if I was leaning up against a wall. That strap is really helpful. Over time, maybe we bring our palms to touch in Warrior Three. Super strong standing leg, yet the knee is not locked. Maybe the hands come back behind us. Maybe they reach out like an airplane. Maybe you become the tip of the spear in Warrior Three. Let's bring the hands back down to the blocks as our right glute starts burning. Take a deep breath here, and maybe we work our way with the strap or not into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. I like having the block on the medium setting, 45-degree angle from my pinky toe. Hand comes down onto the block. Again, that strap is helping me find balance by myself in half moon pose. The top hand floats up, the shoulders open, heels moving away from us. Maybe we turn our gaze sideways. shoulders away from our ears. Maybe we turn our gaze up towards that hand. Can the top hand be directly above the bottom hand? And when you've had enough, we lower that hand, bend the left leg, let the strap come off. Shaking out the right leg, you might feel it in your glutes, might feel tingling in your hip. And let's take it to the other side. Again, if you don't have the block, you can move into Warrior One. In Warrior One, the first leg's bent. The back leg, his toes are pointed out 45 degrees. Feel energy in both feet as if you're drawing the feet together, yet they're not moving. You can bend and straighten that back leg. If you have the strap, this time we're going to have the portal. The size should be right because you just got it adjusted for the right leg. We're going to put our left foot through the portal. Hold on to the strap right in front of your hip point. Take the right foot into the strap. The arch of the foot grabs the strap, finding a nice crescent lunge. Roll the shoulders up and back. Find stillness, find your good balance point. We're not on a tightrope here. Start to raise and lower the back heel. Start to feel that sensation. The left femur being gently massaged, gently pushed down, especially the head of the femur where it connects into our hip joint. Hands come back to our hips. Subtle move. Shoulders just start to move forward. Body is still. We continue to breathe. We don't hold a breath. The more forward we come, the deeper the pressure, the deeper the adjustment is. Squaring the hips towards the front of the mat. If they open up, we take the pressure off. Square the hips towards the front. Draw the shoulders forward. Reach down, put our blocks back on their highest setting. Draw the left foot back. Right foot lifts. Toes are pointing down. We can do a supported, modified Warrior Three. Bringing one hand, maybe bringing both hands. Playing with our balance. Yeah, my balance isn't the same on this side as it was on the other. Breathing in through the nose, out of the nose. The back heel is drawing away. The front foot is pushing down without locking the knee. We can rest on our thumbs and bring our hands back like a jet plane, out like an airplane, forward like the tip of the spear. Reaching down to the blocks. I'll turn around. We can put the left block on its medium setting, about 45-degree angle from the standing leg, pinky toe. The hand on our fingertips are flat on the block. We draw the right leg back, point the toes away from us, open up the shoulders, reach that hand high, activate the fingertips. There's more balance with our head looking down. Balance starts to get scarier as we start to open up. Attempt to get the top hand above the bottom. Look up maybe towards those fingertips, maybe not. And when you've had enough, all we have to do is bend that back leg, taking all the pressure off the left hip. Shake the legs out. Great job, yogis. How are we doing here? Thank you for playing along. Much appreciated. Let's give a deep part of our hips a little bit of a break. We'll move into a standing segment. Inhale, circling the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, the palms open. Inhale, reach higher, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Reach down to the floor. Even if we have the blocks, we can set those aside. Put them towards the middle or the top of our mat, because I promise we'll get back to those. Inhale, float the right heel up in space. Bring the right foot forward. Left foot spins back. Slowly rise into Warrior Two. Adjust your stance so the knee is not in front of the front ankle. Look down at the pinky toe, side of your foot. Feel that strong grip. Imagine the heels are dragging towards each other. The front knee is pointing towards the front toes. The front hip, if you had a front glute was moving down, the back hip moving back. Shoulders aren't forward or back, they're directly above our hips. Hands are activated, moving, fingertips moving away from each other, shoulders moving away from our ears. Take a deep inhale here, exhale. Flip the back hand up. Inhale, reach up, then back, finding your expression of reverse warrior today. Pausing for 2 deep breaths here. Inhale through warrior 2, finding extended side angle pose. This is where the strap or even a towel could be handy. If you have a strap or a towel, put it over your left shoulder. If you'd like to play with a bind, if you don't have a bind in your practice, let the strap hang down. Or the towel, grab the towel with your right hand, have it in your left hand. Start to open your shoulders, activate both feet, feel the pinky toe edge, that back foot gripping. And this is a way to start a bind practice. I thought about using a dog leash, but if I grab the leash in this house, there'll be a stampede for the yoga mat. If you have a bind, top hand comes up and back, reaching back, clasping the wrists or the fingertips, opening the shoulders, drawing the heels towards each other. Really feel it in that right hip crease. If you have Bird of Paradise in your practice, it's more of an advanced move. You're definitely welcome to take it here. Or you can step forward into a half splits. If you were going to take Bird of Paradise, you shift some of your weight into the right foot, you hop the left foot forward, then you shift the weight into the left leg. The bend, slight bend in the knee, it's not locked. Right foot is up on tippy toes. Breathing here. Slowly, unwind. Always harder when you're talking. I don't recommend talking in yoga class. If our shoulders do get above our hips, then we start to extend the leg like the Bird of Paradise. If you've taken a couple breaths here, keep the knee where it is, release the hands, reach the hands up towards the sky. Then we can meet the rest of the class standing half splits. Standing half splits. Inhale, the right leg comes up, the heels moving away from us, the hamstrings lifting up. Look back and check out your toes. Point the toes towards the mat. Inhale the heel up, and on the exhale, imagine your chest got closer to the knee. Inhale, hamstring up. Exhale, chest towards the knee. Inhale up, exhale down. Then bend that right leg, standing forward fold. Halfway rise, lower down slow, circling those hands up towards the sky, and exhale our hands to our heart. Whew! Feeling that? A little more heat in this class today. Let's move to the opposite side. So again, I'm going to turn around on the mat, but we're going to do a sun salutation, and then find warrior 2 with the left foot forward. Turn it around so my back won't be to you the whole sequence. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, open the palms. Reach higher, standing forward fold. Halfway rise, plank, step back. Lower down, up dog or cobra. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Float the left heel up. Left foot comes forward. Right foot opens up. Finding our warrior 2, flip the back hand up, draw the feet towards each other, front glute goes down, back hip opens slightly, fingers reach away from them, shoulders move away from our ears, shoulders are above our hips. Inhale, reversing the warrior, reach up, then back. You can have your back hand on the back outside edge of the thigh or across the lower back for a little bit more of a twist. May create more opening for that top hand to move further behind us. Let's move through warrior 2, finding extended side angle pose. Hand can be down on the ground, it could be on a block. bent on the front thigh. First reach up, then the top hand comes forward. If you have a bind or are starting your bind practice, I think I used the towel last time. You could use the strap. From extended side angle, you reach the bottom hand down, find the bottom of the strap, top hand on the top. Shoulders are moving back, shoulder blades towards each other. Don't let that back leg bend like mine just did. Activate that leg, hold on to the pinky toe edge of the back foot, ball of the front foot, the feet are working, the shoulders are working. Turn our gaze towards the middle of the room. If you'd like to take bind with your arms, if that's in your practice, this is where we'll do that. Top shoulder opens up. Really feel it in the front left hamstring. You can meet up in standing splits, or you could slowly bring the back foot forward, shifting the weight into the right leg, coming up on the left tippy toes. Bend the left leg a lot. Start to move towards straight without locking the right leg. Slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. If our shoulder joints get above our hip joints, we're standing tall, playing with our balance. Woo. Maybe we start to extend the left leg towards straight, making that bird of paradise flower imagery. And we're going to release the bind if you have it, but imagine the knee just stays where it is, reaching the hands up towards the sky, meeting the rest of the class, standing half splits. And standing half splits, left leg reaches up towards the sky, the heels moving away from us, the hamstrings lifting up. Super strong yet flexible right leg. Look back at the left toes. Point those toes towards the mat. Inhale, the heel comes up. Exhale, your heart moves closer towards your thigh. It's an intention, it's a direction, the distance doesn't matter. Inhale, the heel, the thigh up. Exhale, heart melts towards the knee. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, melting. Bringing that left foot down. Letting the head relax, crown of the head pointing down. Gently shake our head. Yes, you did it. Ears move side to side. No, maybe I skipped part of it. Doesn't matter. Wherever you are today is perfect. It's a progression. Baby steps. The more we practice, the more comfortable our body, mind, and spirit gets with each pose, each sequence. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, lower down slow. Inhale, circling the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, our hands to our heart. And release. We'll do a little bit of floor work. I want to show you a couple things we can do with the strap. You could use, again, a towel if you don't have the strap, I think, for part of this. Making ourselves to a seat. You know what? Let's find butterfly pose. That always feels so good. Interlace or move the bottoms of the feet towards each other. Interlace the fingers. Round the toes. Gently flutter the knees up and down after all that intense hip work, thigh work, hamstring work you've just been doing. This should be a nice release, nice treat. Finding stillness, push the sits bones into the ground. Lift our sternum forward, feel the crown of the head float up. Just pause for a couple breaths here. God bless you. Thank you, Koa. Appreciate your help. So now what we're going to do, you have the strap handy. This time we're going to need a much larger loop. Okay, go to bed. We're going to take both of our blocks, put one on either side of our hips. We're going to come into the strap. We're going to have it very high up across our back, right underneath our armpits. You're going to know where the buckle is. You're going to know where the controlling edge of your strap is in case you need to adjust, like mine on my right side. I'm going to put the strap, hike it up underneath my armpits. Very high. We're going to place both feet into the strap. That's why we need this large loop. The goal is to be able to straighten the legs. I need to add a little more space in my strap. There we go. Can you straighten your legs? Can you know where the buckle is? Can you have the controlling part of the strap towards you in case you need to make adjustments? Can you sit up in this almost staff pose here? We're going to bring both blocks nice and tight into our hips. And I think I'm going to point my legs towards you so you can see a little bit better view of what I'm doing. Or you know what? Never mind. This studio here, still getting used to it. We're going to put the blocks by our hips. We're going to use our hands in front of the blocks. We're going to slowly push back down onto our backs. Nice and slow, nice and slow, nice and slow. Props out of the way. With both feet in the strap, we're going to keep our left foot in the strap and take our right foot out. So the right foot is on the ground. Your strap slip, draw it once again up underneath your armpits. The right leg, while it's not in the strap, it's not relaxing. The heel's moving away from us, the hamstrings pushing down, the glutes tight, the leg is active. I'm going to take those blocks, squish them into near our hips, and we're going to start to let the left leg fall out towards the left. The strap's going to catch it, as well as the block is going to be a brake. Now, a lot of you may think, well, I know I can get my left foot closer to the floor, but what we want to do is use this block as a brake, draw your right shoulder to the mat, so both shoulders are on the mat, flex the foot, push the heel away from you, imagine the toes are moving towards your left knee, breathe into the nose, out of the nose. You'll feel where the block grips the outer edge of your hip, and after a couple breaths, you may feel the sensation of all four of your quadricep muscles just relaxing, opening, and maybe the leg opens up 1/8 of an inch more. It's a subtle feeling of relaxing that your brain knows the block is holding up your leg, the strap's holding your leg. You can relax the muscles. You can relax, start to open, relax the fascia surrounding the muscles. Again, your right shoulder is drawing down, your right leg is active, right toes pointing up towards the sky or towards your knee. Then let's slowly float that left foot up towards the ceiling. I always need to adjust the strap because the ball of the foot underneath the big toe is a little bit higher up than the pinky toe. I let the left foot come over, and I know there's a tendency for us to just let the left leg crash over to the side. If you're straight up, that's great. If it moves over 3 or 4 inches, maybe 6 inches, not a lot, take your right hand on the left strap. Just a tiny bit of pressure. Both shoulders are still resting on the mat. The back of the head's resting on the mat. The right leg is still active and working. Just a little bit, we'll feel it on the outer edge of the hip. Great job, yogis. Bring the other foot into the strap. You could be doing this if you don't have a strap without a strap, and then find a strap for your next class. So now I'm going to spin around so I don't hit the wall. You're pointing the same direction. Get those blocks good and tight on our hips. Left leg is extended. Left toes pointed up towards the sky. Start to let the right leg open up. The right leg opens up, the left leg's pushing into the ground, the left leg's active, the left shoulder is connected to the mat, using the block as that brake to keep your leg from going even further. Push the heel away, draw the toes towards your knee, breathe deeply. After the second or third breath, I feel the quads just relax and open. Slowly float the bottom of the right foot up towards the sky. Adjust the strap if you need to, so it's across the ball of the foot, not on top of the toes. The leg is moving towards straight now. Let the right leg move over the left side of the body. This is a lot on my hamstring. Take my left hand on the outside of the right strap, just give it a little nudge, creating a tiny bit more space. Really don't want my right hip to come up off the ground too much. Great job, yogis. Bring the left foot back into the strap. Start to draw your elbows up towards your upper back, and maybe we start to pivot forward. And guess what? We'll find ourselves into Navasana, boat pose. Bend your legs, scooch that strap up very high. Keep the blocks back behind our glutes this time. Our hands can be flat on the ground. We start to straighten our legs. You may find if you're a person in boat pose that has a challenge straightening the legs, that the strap is all the assistance you need, all the spotting you need to get the legs towards straight. The inner thighs are moving towards the ground. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. In any boat pose, we don't want to collapse our chest. We want to lift the sternum up towards the sky. Shine that perfect light that exists within each of you up towards the sky. Radiate. Push the heels away. Push the legs towards straight. Use that strap as your friend. Maybe the hands are down on the ground for balance. Maybe one comes up. Maybe both comes up. The sternum's still lifted. Finding stillness in the pose, lowering slowly, the heels will come down. Scooch our butt back so the legs are towards straight. Again, if your strap adjusted or you need a little bit more room here, now's a good time to adjust it. Even if you don't have the straps, if you have your blocks, or even not, we can do, if you don't have blocks, we can do little baby tricep presses. Our fingertips are pointing towards our feet. Bend the elbows, straighten, bend and straighten. If you have the blocks, you have the benefit of getting a little more extension, a little more height. Just adding a little bit of tricep strengthening here. And if you want to learn how to do a press up, how to do part of it like a pistol squat, we're breaking it down. So one way, since we have the strap right here, we put the blocks not forward on our hips, they're towards the back of our hip joints. We're going to come up onto that tricep push, draw the elbows towards our spine. And now when someone gets their feet off the ground, they're not lifting their feet. You're pushing into your hands, getting very tall in your triceps, and you're dragging your hips, walking your hips back in space. As your hips come back in space, the strap helps to lift the feet off the ground. It's kind of a lot, but you're here, not too far off the ground. Just push up and attempt to draw your hips back. It's actually easier probably to be on a wood floor than your sticky mat right now. But drawing the hips back in space allows the feet to float up. One more time. And lower down. Great job, yogis. Let's take the strap, put it off to the side. Take the blocks off to the side. Coming back to butterfly pose one more time. May feel a little bit different right now. Since we've done so much on our hips and our hamstrings today, let's take a seated wide-legged fold. Your seated wide-legged fold today may be here. Over time, your feet may separate a little bit more. Some of the dancers, folks that can do the splits already, may have a nice wide-legged fold. I like to reach down, pull the fleshy part of my glutes away, so I really feel that connection with the sits bones. Take the block in our hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, push the block to the ceiling as we start to fold forward. So we're not curling forward. We're reaching up and away. My gaze is still forward, gaze is still forward. As the block gets closer towards the wall, I slowly let the block come down, and my chin moves towards my chest as my gaze looks down towards the floor. If we put the block in the highest setting, reach the block as high or as far away from us as we can with our sits bones still connected to the floor. Gently bend each leg. Shake the legs up and down a little bit. Push into the fingertips, the back of the head floats up. And on the exhale, melt our nose closer towards the mat. You come up on your fingertips, you may feel the deltoids kick in, a nice stretch on the back of our shoulders. And here's some real, feels like magic, it's just physics, it's our body. Let's all draw the heels in, bending our knees. Now reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Start to pivot forward. Our thighs, our hips block us this time. Let the hands fall to the ground. Let the chin start to curl towards or hang heavy towards our chest for 2 deep breaths here. All that fascia that encapsulates each and every muscle in our body is really tight when our muscles are extended. So now we're letting the fascia relax, open up. Draw our hands towards our thighs. Gently reach underneath the thighs, extending the legs out. Now let's take another wide-legged forward fold. You may find by relaxing the fascia, we created more space, reaching those fingertips up, up, up. Fingertips comes forward, crown of the head moves towards the wall opposite you. Then the hands reach the ground first. Then our gaze starts to come down. Shake the legs gently, knees up and down. Draw the toes towards the knees. Maybe the forearms get to the ground. Maybe they don't. Maybe they will in 6 months or 6 years. But maybe, just maybe, you noticed by relaxing the fascia around our hamstrings, our quads, you created a little bit more extension. Maybe you crawl your fingertips away from you. If you just do this in front of the TV, binge watching, whatever you're binge watching, taking a break, spending a couple minutes a day in this big open stretch will create openness and flexibility over time. There's no rush to get there. Slowly draw the hands back towards our waist, bending each knee, point our feet towards the bottom of our mat. Slowly roll onto our back. One more fun thing we can do with the strap or with the towel. We're going to come onto our back, bend our left foot flat on the mat, right foot on the top of the right thigh. Great way to use the strap, get our money's worth out of these things, is put it behind the left hamstring. Because you can use the strap, you can keep both shoulders connected to the mat. The right foot is working, the toes are moving towards the knee, the right knee is moving away from your face, the left foot's relaxed. Take a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, maybe we draw the strap closer towards us, the left thigh towards us. Inhale, release, exhale. Using the strap provides accessibility to this pose that some of us may have a hard time reaching the thigh, interlacing our fingers behind the thigh, because it's easy to cheat the pose, drawing the shoulders up off the mat. We want both shoulders touching the mat. Again, the right knee moves away from our face, right foot moving towards, toes are moving towards the knee, left foot relaxed. Using the strap to help a little bit. Lower the left foot down to the mat. Push into the left foot, lift both butt cheeks off the mat, scoop them over to the right. Let the right foot fall down across the left side of the body so the right foot's flat. Maybe we grab it with our left ankle, cinching that right ankle, grab the right ankle with our left hand, cinch the right foot up towards our chest. The right knee is still moving away towards the bottom of the mat. The right shoulder is still connected. The right hand can extend long, turning our gaze towards those right fingertips. And slowly unwind. Moving to the opposite side, the right foot's flat, left foot crossed above the knee. Take the strap behind the right thigh. Draw both shoulders flat on the mat. The right foot is relaxed. Left foot active, left knee moving towards the bottom of the mat, left toes moving towards the knee. Take a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, maybe we draw the right thigh in, Inhale, exhale. 2 more times. Releasing the strap. Now we're done with it, promise. The right foot comes down. We push with the right foot. Both hips lift up off the ground. Scoot the hips over towards the left. The right foot comes down. The left foot comes down. Grasp it with the right hand. Left shoulder moves towards or to the mat. Left knee moves towards the bottom of the mat. Maybe we cinch in the left ankle with the right hand a little bit. The left arm can be goalpost or extended long. We turn our gaze towards those left fingertips. Nice stretch. Wrap up our practice. Slowly unwind. Draw both knees to our chest. Gently rock side to side. Bring both knees in tight. Bring our chin up towards or to our knees. Take a deep inhale here. Sigh it out and extend long. Rock and roll the heels side to side. Draw our shoulder blades slightly closer to each other. Bring our hands down by our waist, palms open up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. Take another deep inhale in through the nose. Open our mouth and sigh it out. Wiggle our jaw side to side. Let's softly close our lips. Take the tip of our tongue, gently push on the roof of the mouth right behind our top 2 teeth, then relax. Wiggle our nose without opening our eyes, flutter our eyelids. Furrow and unfurrow our brow. Give yourself permission to relax, permission to let go, permission as we sink into Shavasana. We'll be here for 2 minutes and I'll guide you out. Slowly, let's start to deepen our breath. Bring some movement to our fingers, to our toes. Let's inhale our hands to the ground beyond our head, pointing our fingertips, pointing our toes, feeling as tall as you've ever felt before. Maybe we gently grasp one wrist with the opposite wrist and give it a gentle nudge, tug. Switching hands, switching wrists. Draw the bottoms of both feet flat onto the mat underneath your knees. Softly roll over onto our right side, using our right bicep as a pillow, our left hand flat on the ground in front of our belly. Take a couple deep breaths here. With our eyes softly closed, tuck our chin to our chest or towards our chest. Start to put a little bit of pressure into your left hand. Pushing ourselves up, finding a seat towards the front of our mat, our eyes softly closed. The chin's the very last thing to rise. Bring our hands to our heart center. Inhale up with pride, the crown of our head reaches up. And exhale humbly, our chin, our internal gaze towards that perfect light burning within each of us. The perfect light that you've, through your practice, made burn brighter today. Let's endeavor to share that light with ourselves, our family and friend, complete strangers in the world around us. We've never been more connected, never felt more connected to this world around us. Know that the good that we do here on our yoga mat, we can share with others. We'll seal our practice today with one Om. Inhaling deeply. Blinking our eyes open, rising our chin. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It means the world to me. It's great to share this practice with you. Share what you've learned from this practice or what you've taken out of this practice with others. We're socially distancing today. We're not isolating, so stay connected. If you have any questions or requests for me, feel free to subscribe to the Okaiyoga YouTube channel. Send me an email, text, call. It's great to hear from our Okaiyoga community across the country what everybody's doing to be good and loving to yourself so that we can be good and loving for others. Namaste. See you soon.